How about we turn it up? Welcome to the Team Superdad podcast. It's the wrap up. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. This is Johnny. You're with the Team Superdad crew, friends, family, members all around the world. Like I said, it's Friday. And if you have been here before, then you know that we like to celebrate the week that has been and all the highs and lows. And there are always both, basically. I've got my running order. And I've done 3 podcasts this week. So you may well be sick of the sight of me if you're watching the live stream. If you're following on the podcast, then great. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not subscribed to the podcast yet, then make sure you go and do that at your favorite podcast app. If it's not Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, there are loads. I love Breaker, which I think is on Android as well now, but it's on iOS. Really cool podcasting app, because it's really social. So you can see what your friends or people you're connected to are also listening to. And when people like it or rate it, then you can, then you get notified. So you can see what's fun, basically. Do you know what? I seem to be listening to a lot more silly podcasts recently, although I can't seem to find too many that are really, really funny. Even my old favorite Views with David Dobrik and Jason Nash, it's not quite as funny anymore. They just waffle on. Maybe I'm waffling on. Who knows? So, welcome. Like I said, if you're not familiar with the wrap up yet, it's the end of the week. Too many people. You have goals and challenges, and you get down to business. And particularly men, we have a habit of not recognizing how many things we've achieved in the week gone by. And if you've got a long list of things to do, then you could end up really stuck in what you haven't done rather than acknowledging what you have done. So it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of fun. And we like to just go through what's been happening. The podcasts, right? Three conversations this week. Number one, Kim Campion. We talked how to make the law of attraction work for you, which I didn't actually realize what we were going to talk about. She is an empowerment. She calls herself the empowerment whiz. So, and she said she chose that because she seemed that every Tom, Dick and Harry was sticking the word expert after their name. And she was like, do you know what? It's not about being an expert. It's about the work that I do and leaving those people empowered. And I think maybe the word empowered probably speaks louder to women than men, but mindset is a word that probably speaks to men louder than women. But both of those, as we got down to it, come into the realms of creating the life that we want, creating the opportunities that we desire, and literally living the life that we plan, which is the law of attraction. So if you don't know much about that, Kim and I talk about it quite a lot, but we also reference a book called Ask and It Shall Be Given by Abraham Hicks. Absolutely brilliant book, really practical and encouraging, positive book about just, well, yeah, it's kind of about the law of attraction really, but it really is about creating positivity in your life such that the life works out better for you. And it's just a really cool book. So check that out. Raymond Holt spoke to in the middle of the week all about cash flow and managing your money, managing your personal cash flow. And that was so powerful. Raymond's doing some training modules inside of the Hero Academy course. And just to have a grasp of your money, to be not just doing an income and expenditure so you know what you spent last month, but looking ahead into the next year really and seeing, oh, wow, I'm going to run out of money, or it's a holiday coming up. How are we going to have enough money for that? And most importantly, the idea, two core things actually, when you start to manage your money more consciously, you will end up having more money. There will be less waste and you will end up having more money. And that's particularly important if you've got goals and targets for saving, for moving house, whatever it might be. And most importantly, Raymond pointed out that in his experience, where however your money's going, that's where your relationship is going. So if your money's not going well, then your relationship is not going to last, is basically his point there. So pretty blunt and pretty powerful. So get tuned into that. And to lighten the mood, today I had the most amazing podcast, brilliant conversation with Pete Can, the Laughter Man. You should go and check out the live stream of that. The podcast will be out with the amount I've got to do. It will, because I don't put them out like all 3 at once. It'll be a couple of weeks before the podcast comes around, but or I might just bring it to the front because it was so much fun. But yeah, come and subscribe to the podcast wherever you are listening, or wherever you listen to your podcast, or on YouTube. On YouTube, join the Team Superdad Facebook group on Facebook, obviously. If you go to YouTube, and the quickest way to get there is go to teamsuperdad.com/video, teamsuperdad.com/video, and that will ping you over to our YouTube channel. If you subscribe to that, you'll be in on all the live streams there. And of course, if you want it in the car, then subscribe to the podcast. So watch out for those coming up. Laughter. That's what Pete and I were talking about. Absolutely brilliant. He's a laughter. He does laughter yoga. He's also a chef, and he's got a pretty successful chef like recruitment business. But obviously in the time of COVID and lockdown, you don't need a chef. There's no work for chefs. And this sideline he had going on with the laughter has just really taken off. And imagine, right, if you've seen, so imagine laughing, right, and it being relaxing. Imagine laughing and it giving you a boost at the beginning of the day. Even imagine laughing and it being exercise. All of those things. And one of my favorite movies ever, Mary Poppins, there's a scene in there where oh my God, I forgot his name, where Mary and Jane and Michael and what the flipping next his name? And the bloke, right? And the bloke go to his uncle's and they sing I Love to Laugh. Absolutely brilliant. One of the best scenes in the movie. And we talked about that because when you laugh, you literally generate positive hormones, endorphins. You actually feel good. It's one of the most amazing things about being a human is that we can generate this thing off. We don't even have to hear or see something funny. We can just do it. And Pete and I did a couple of different exercises in our conversation where we laughed, where we absolutely laughed our asses off. So if you need a laugh, if you want to find out how to get some more laughter in your life, then just go and listen to that podcast or watch that video on the Team Superdad channels. So what else? I have faced some pretty interesting challenges this week dealing with my kids' school and some, like I said, some challenges that are coming up there. And I'm not going to speak about what those challenges are, mainly because that could come back and bite me. But getting support back from the different men's groups, of course, the Team Superdad community, which is what I run and what you're part of as you listen to this, but also some other dad communities, both from a single dad point of view and from a personal development and coaching point of view, just to be able to have that group, that circle of men to go and take my challenges to. And yes, I've got my family. Not all of them I've involved in this, but sometimes you need some outside input, and having a group of men that you can share with, you can get their experiences back from. Some of it will be holding you to account, of course. Other bits will be comfort and encouragement and support. And it is just vital, particularly in these times at the moment where it could be money, it could be the pressures of all being at home, it could be absolute anxiety and possibly even depression. The most important thing is that you've got other people around you, people who maybe even your friends you don't feel that comfortable with sharing some personal stuff with, but being part of an extended community, you can be that open and upfront about it. We've got the dad call coming up. It's this Monday, so it's bi-weekly, and the dad call is this Monday. It's a completely safe and private, closed space where you can just be part of the group. We're chatting. Some of it's funny, some of it's silly, and also some of it's a bit serious. People bring whatever they want to that call, and sometimes it's a request for help, and we're all there to do exactly that. It's bloody brilliant. So come on over it, totally free. Go to teamsuperdad.com/dad call, and you can get basically get yourself registered for it. So you get the Zoom link. Obviously it's private, so you need to do that to get the Zoom link. Next up, I have got a half marathon. Today's Friday, right? So I've got a half marathon tomorrow. It's all happening. It's organized by the Tunbridge Park Run gang. If you don't know much about Park Run, then it is a phenomenal movement and organization. It started in the UK, and it pretty much is as simple as a bunch of people getting together for a free timed run. It's a 5K run, all skills and abilities welcome. And to whatever degree, I don't really know the backstory of it, but the Tunbridge Park Run crew are organising a virtual half marathon tomorrow. So I will be doing it with a couple of people, but there's been a course mapped out, and at any time you can go and run this half marathon. I think there's even some people doing a marathon, which is another story altogether. I did the New York Marathon once, and it was horrific. And I've never done a marathon since. And it's not saying I won't do it again. I enjoy triathlons, the experience, the struggle, the training, all of it. I did not enjoy the marathon, basically. But I dare say I will do another one day. But half marathons, quite enjoyable. Still quite painful, but quite enjoyable. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing one with my good friend Athos and his wife Anna. So whatever you're doing this weekend, make sure you get out and do the daily sweat. I have had some trouble with the daily sweat over the last 10 days. Again, my troublesome neck and shoulders. I was back at the Osteopath on Monday. Luke, the Osteopath in Bearsted, Maidstone, which won't be of any use to most of you, but it is bloody good to anybody who's in the, let's say, 15, 20 miles within of Maidstone. Luke is flipping awesome. And especially if you've got some challenges that are sports related, he really specializes in that. So yeah, that's Luke, but I'm a big fan of osteopathy. You know, we've got to look after our bodies, and to sit in a desk like this all the time, or whatever your work has you do, invest in yourself. Of course, fitness and a gym and buying the trainers and all that sort of stuff that costs money. But if you don't look after your body as well, if you're living in pain, then just stop it. Go out and get that sports massage, find an osteopath, do whatever it takes to get your body working again, because it's not right that anybody should go through life living with aches and pains, constant aches and pains. Just don't. Just go and find someone. If you want some input on it, come and talk to me. I will gladly share my thoughts and my journeys. You know, I've had backache, problems with my hamstrings, problems with my neck. And Luke tells me, oh yeah, that's from years of running, basically. And he's now fixing it all. He's unraveling it all. And of course it's taking time, but it's worth it. It is worth it. And what else have we got here on the running order? Done the dad call, the men's community, laughter, the half marathon. I think that just leaves the fantasy football. If you are a football fan, then you may well be playing fantasy football. The Team Superdad community, we have our own fantasy football league. It's on the official Premier League app, which you can get on obviously Android and iOS. But even if you've had a team since the beginning of the season, but you've not been in our league, whatever your points are, when you join the league, you will have those points. So if you've got flipping loads of points, 500 points, let's say, you would come straight in and be at number one of the Team Superdad group. So all your points carry over. So if you have a team on the official Premier League football fantasy app, then come and get involved in the Team Superdad Fantasy League. I'm going to paste our code in the chat now. I paste it on all the channels. This won't post to my personal Facebook or the Team Superdad group, so you need to come and ask me for that. But I will see your comments. So if you ask me for the code, I'll tell you, and I can tell you right now. In fact, I can put it on screen right now. How about this? Boom. The code is lowercase, all lowercase, ORZ 4, number 4, Y4. So it's ORZ, number 4, letter Y, number 4, ORZ 4Y4. Come on, get involved. It's like, it's fun. And the reason I'm sharing this is because it's a fantasy football league, right? The more people we have in the league, the better, right? It's more fun. But I do this with my son. And from the age of about 6 to 9, maybe 3 seasons, we did the cards, the match attacks, and it was brilliant. And it did cost a lot of money, but we also did it. The second and third year cost me a lot less than the first year because we found swap clubs and things like that. So, you know, you don't have to continuously buy the cards. Make sure you're doing lots of swaps. But the best thing about it was that it was a chance for me and my son to chit chat about stuff. And it's not on the Xbox. It's not on the mobile phone. And it's just a shared interest. Like, work hard to find shared interests. Last night, my daughter and I did some drawing. We drawing, right? I am a way better drawer than I was when I was younger. But just have the confidence to do it. And if you don't, then make that part of what you're doing. Go on YouTube and find like how to draw. Turns out one of the ways to start drawing is you draw the shapes, circles, triangles, oblongs. It sounds ridiculous, but I read this in a book that I bought about how to draw, and then you turn those random shapes into the different parts of whatever it is you're drawing. Last night I had to copy and draw 5 Christmas hamsters, 5 Christmas hamsters to go on the front of a Christmas card that she was making. Big up to my sister Lou, who gave the kids this bumper Christmas make and do box that the kids have absolutely been loving. So whether it's your daughter, whether it's your son, I'm sure plenty of girls out there enjoy the fantasy football as well. So get involved with them. And if you're a dad that thinks they don't really know how to do make and do or aren't very good at drawing, then to hell with it. Just go out there and learn. Take it on as a challenge. Even if you're just showing your kids that you can learn a new skill, right? Take it on. Get excited about the stuff you do with your kids. And that's the wrap up. If you go over to any podcast channel, you can see all the old podcasts. If you subscribe to it, obviously, you will get notified of the upcoming ones. If you're part of the Facebook community or on YouTube, make sure you set the notifications. This is really, really important, especially if you're in the Facebook group. Choose to have the notifications on. If you look at the pinned post at the top of the group, it tells you how to turn on notifications. It is pretty easy, but I've made a little video for you and everything. The more you keep in touch with the content that's coming out from me and Team Superdad, then the better it is for you to respond, to share, to like, and the more dads can be supported by the work that we're doing. Christmas is in 5 weeks' time. The end of the year is in 43 days' time. That is just over a month. So whatever it is that you're up to, make sure you put a plan in place for Christmas. We're possibly going to be in lockdown. So just make sure you've got some plan A, plan B, even plan C. Same goes for New Year's Eve. And you know what? Let's get excited about 2021. I'm all for the vaccine. I don't even think this COVID thing for most of us is that bad, but it's shut the world down. If the vaccine is going to help us get back to normality, then I'm all for that. And conspiracy theories, whatever abound, I just would like to see the world back to normal as quick as possible, so we can all get out and have some fun, have some hugs, go to some parties, get drunk with strangers and do a conga around the pub, whatever it is that it might. Go and see my family in America, go and see my family in France. You know, let's just get back to some normality. Our mental health depends on it, and the mental health of our kids and their future depends on it. So that's all part of the conversation that's going on in Team Superdad as well. Just come and get involved. I'd love to have you on board, and I'd love to work with you as well. If you want to find out about any of the dad coaching, then just go to Team Superdad and hit me up. It'd be great to chat. I look forward to seeing you on the next wrap up. Team Superdad out.